and my 67 Corvette. And my 67 Corvette. And my 67 Corvette didn't burn. I have a 67 Corvette they got out. My 67 Corvette. Also saved my home and my wife's life. When I was away, it was the last day that the most famous guy doing Meet the Press in Washington, D.C., and I was doing the program. And what happened was there was a lightning struck a little pond behind my house, hit a wire, came up through the basement of my home, and 3 stories, and the smoke literally ended up being that thick, literally that thick. You've seen it, you guys have seen it. I wasn't there, and my wife was there, and my dog and my cat, and my 67 Corvette. But all kidding aside, they saved my wife and got her out, saved my home. Lightning struck in a pond behind my house, went up underneath the conduit, caught fire underneath the floorboards of my house, and it was during the summer. Air conditioning was on, smoke that thick, all 3 stories. The reason I can show you that is because every piece of furniture had to be replaced because of the smoke. But guess what? My fire company was there to go in and save my wife, get her out, the cat, and my 67 Corvette. I know from experience how much anxiety and fear and concern there are in the people. We didn't lose our whole home, but lightning struck and we lost an awful lot of it about 15 years ago. Lightning strike hit, I live on a little pond, a 10-acre pond that borders my property. Hit a conduit in the side of the hill, went up underneath and set and fire the internal part of my house. So the air conditioning just was bellowing out smoke. My fire company came, the smoke was so thick, not a joke. And you firefighters, and you could not see into the house from the basement floor all the way to the 3rd floor. Not a single thing. And my fire service went and they saved my wife, and she says saved the cat, and my 67 Corvette didn't burn. Jill and I have not gone through what you have gone through, but we have had lightning strike our home and almost lose our home. And we only lost about 25% of it. We were able to rebuild. The hard part is the memorabilia you lost, the special things that you had put away that you lost. I was doing Meet the Press, and lightning struck a little pond behind my house, came up through the ground into the air conditioning system, ended up generating thick black smoke, literally that of those proportions. And from the basement to the 3rd floor, the attic, everything was ruined. And the kitchen floor, we almost lost a couple firefighters, they tell me, because the kitchen floor was the burning between the beams in the house, in addition to almost collapsed into the basement. My fire department saved my life, literally, not figuratively. My house got struck by lightning and mostly burned down, had to be rebuilt. Saved the smoke was so thick, Gov, it was literally that thick, and you couldn't see through the windows or out the windows, and the floors were collapsing. These guys went in and did 2 things. Most importantly, got my wife out. I was in Washington when it happened, and saved our cat. But equally important, almost not equally, but important, I have a 67 Corvette they got out. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. You know, there's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware. And the expression is, God made man, then he made a few firefighters. You're all crazy, thank God. The only people who run into flames to help other people. And they ran into flames to save my wife and save my family. Not a joke. The smoke, and the firefighters here can tell you, sometimes smoke is so thick from the windows out, it was that thick inside the home. And we were insured. We did not have any problem, but being out of our home for a better part of a year was difficult.
Well, I reckon we should cut the bloke a break because he's been through a bit of trauma in his own life, and he thought he would try to relate to the people of Hawaii when he went to visit them in Maui and regale them with a story of his own brush with death when it came to fire. I mean, it's bad when you're going to lose the 67 Corvette, isn't it?
He's a man of the people.
The only problem is that the fire to which he refers, he said this before and he has been fact-checked on it. And in 2004, Associated Press found that it was actually a small fire in the kitchen of his house and it was put out within 20 minutes. The bloke can't even remember what actually happened. And there he is saying, oh, I'm very sorry. All these people have died. Yeah. These wildfires are terrible, but I know what it's like because my kitchen
I've been there.
Fire.
I have been there. I feel your pain. I can truly empathise. I mean, no wonder they took him 2 weeks to get him ready for this trip.